It is Passenger Seat Radio. Monday, February 3rd, I believe, 2025. You are on my 13-mile commute to work. Welcome to the show. Yes, my schedule is completely dicked right now. My son had to go back in for more butt surgery. That poor kid. I've never seen anything like it. What they had to do to his butt. It's, damn, that poor kid. That's all I can say. He's an adult now, so I can't say stuff about him anymore that I don't have like clearance to say. Isn't that weird? Like, a lot of people say, man, you can't believe you talk about your kids like that. And it's like, well, you know what? I'm allowed to until they turn 18, and then I can't really do anything. So I don't know how much you would want to talk about it. Hey now, welcome in, sir. Welcome in. I can't see the name because it's got the sun in my face, but sorry about that. Welcome in. Yeah, so my schedule's completely dicked right now. Remember, they want us in the office Monday through Wednesday, but, my son goes to school Monday through Thursday. And with the narcotics and the butt thing and not being able to drive, it means my schedule is completely wonky. So that's why you're getting a show at almost 8:30 on a Monday, right? I figured I got a 25-minute ride in. Might as well flip on the camera and do a show. Yeah, so I forgot to mention during my week from hell, I also had another problem. And now that it's all ironed out, I wanted to talk about it because I think it's interesting. So I had a drink refrigerator, right, in my office I can't remember what my original one was, but it finally died after 5 or 6 years. Hey now, Alex, is that Alex? Yeah, it's Alex. God, the sun is killing me. Hey man, hey now, hey now, hey man, hey now, hey meow, whatever. Is that Paul? Yeah, I can't see. Yeah, it looks like Paul. Anywho, yeah, everyone's coming in. This is a good time to run a show, I guess. What's going on, brothers? What's going on? Yeah, so I had this drink fridge for like 5 years, and it died, right? This happens. So I went out to Home Depot, and I decided, you know what? I use this drink fridge a lot. Let's put a little extra cash into it, right? Let's not pay $160 for a drink fridge. Let's pay like $300 for a drink fridge, right? So I got one from Home Depot. It's from a company called New Air. No clue who they are, but they had them in stock. They held a lot of drinks. Sometimes my drink fridge becomes a fridge overflow when it gets really big. Or we find some deal like my wife found the other day. They were selling, Albertsons had Simply Orange Juice. It comes in those tall plastic containers. Simply Orange Juice. It was a light version, right? So it had less sugar, basically less orange juice and more water. But, that works out because I dilute my orange juice anyway. Just because, it doesn't matter what you're drinking or eating. If you find any pleasure at all in it, it's probably bad for you. So, yeah, so my wife's like, I bought 6 of these things. You can put some in your fridge. And I'm like, yeah, okay, my fridge has plenty of space. So I go to my fridge, my New Air $300 fridge that's 6 months old, and it is dead as a doorknob. That's right, it is completely dead. It's warmer inside the fridge than it is outside the fridge. I don't know how that works out, but it does. So, yeah, so I have a dead fridge. And my wife's like, what do you mean it's dead? You got it like 6 months ago. I'm like, I know. So I reach out to New Air, and I'm like, hey guys, what the fuck? Right? Why for is my fridge dead in 6 months? I paid $300 American for this. Come on. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry. Can you send this? No, basically the first thing they do, as I think every company does, is they try to make you assume fault. Did you do this? Did you do this? Did that happen? Did that happen? Like, no, dude, I'm using it as directed. I never overloaded it. At the most it ever had was like 12 cans of soda in it. So, like, what are we going to do about this? Well, send us a full picture of the back. Send us this and that. So I'm like, a trained monkey at this point, jumping through hoops. And so I sent them everything, and they're like, and this was back and forth for a few days, by the way, right? So this wasn't a live chat. This was, I send them something, wait, they send me something, wait, that sort of thing. So we do this back and forth bit. And yes, my standard refrigerator is overflowing with frickin' Simply Light orange juice now. I feel like the frickin' Southwest distributor of Simply Light at this point, which is good though. It's good. Mixes well with vodka too, by the way. Pineapple Ciroc vodka. Not that I know that personally, but So anyway, so finally they're like, we've got good news for you. I love the canned replies that they have. So you can tell that like the first paragraph of these emails are canned replies, and then they add their stuff underneath it, which is not quite as well written. Yeah, I can move my seat up a little bit. There we go. Not quite as well written. And it's like, we've got good news for you. Your warranty has been approved. And I'm like, well, no shit, it's been approved, pal. What are we going to do with this? And it's like, so what we need you to do before we process your warranty, okay, what we need you to do is we need you to cut off the cord of the refrigerator. Cut it off. Show us a picture of the entire backside of the fridge with the cord and the cutting of the cord. I'm like, okay. Right. So I move the thing out, I cut the cord, I take the pictures, and I send them, and they're like, well, the only thing that's not covered by warranty is the shipping. And I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. And it's like, so we'll ship you the new refrigerator, or the new drink refrigerator, but it's going to cost you $71. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, let me do the math in my head here. $300 fridge, $71. I don't have to send this one back. I don't have to make a trip to Home Depot and go through all that nonsense. It's just going to be drop shipped, and I'll put the dead one out for bulk trash next month. Okay. All right. I'll pay the $70. It's sort of like paying the $40 for that Dragon's Lair board. I shouldn't have had to pay it, but at the end of the day, it was easier and probably faster and better to do it that way. So, but you have to call them, right? So you have to call them and submit payment, which I wouldn't give a credit card over email anyway. But you have to call them and you give them the card. And basically I get this email saying, okay, you paid, now, wait 5 to 14 days for delivery type crap, right? And you're going, oh, Lord have mercy. I'm never going to have a drink fridge again, son of a bitch. Well, here's the cool part. So it turned out okay. It turned out the $70 actually bought me 2-day FedEx weekend delivery shipping. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what that costs. I mean, is Javier on here? He might know. He knows all that UPS stuff or FedEx stuff. But yeah, so for $70, I got a 2-day Sunday delivery of the new drink fridge. And so far, so good. So I just wanted to share that little extra story with you that added to the week of hell. So yes, Marvel Rivals has still been my game of choice for those of you always curious what I'm playing. Yeah, I mean, I've honestly, I know this sounds crazy. I haven't booted Overwatch one time since Marvel Rivals came out. And if I'm not doing that, imagine how many other people are doing that. And imagine just how in the shithole Overwatch 2 is right now. And that's good. To be honest with you, Overwatch 2 needs a little smacking around, When you're pretty much the only, live service hero shooter, you get a little big for your britches. And as a young person, it's encouraging seeing older people deal with terrible weeks. Oh, yeah. Listen, I am, from a mental state, I'm not in a great spot right now, to be honest with you. I don't feel super great mentally. There's been a couple of bad weeks, this whole return to office nonsense, all of this, everything has been, and let's be honest, I'm not going to talk about politics here, but quite frankly, I can't even read news anymore because I leave my news reader much more upset than I was when I started it. So one of the things I used to enjoy in life is consuming news and learning stuff. And honestly, I can't even do that anymore because I end up in a tizzy when I'm done. So I'm not in a great spot. I might have to ratchet up my antidepressant a little bit because I'm not a very happy person right now, to be honest with you. Things are not going as well as I would like them to go. Let's be honest. So yes, don't worry about being a young person with some mental things going on. It happens to all of us, but it's something that most people don't talk about. And honestly, I think that's kind of a pity. Yeah, almost 20K. Yeah, I was going to get to that. That was on my list of things to talk about. But yeah, let me just talk about this mental stuff for a little bit because I have a new audience and, well, I have the old audience plus a few new folks from the channel. If essentially mental problems are typically a deficiency in something, usually serotonin, right? I'm going to get just a little medical here for a minute. So if you're deficient in serotonin and it requires medication to restore that balance and make you feel good, how different is that from having a vitamin D deficiency where you now take vitamin D? What if you have, like me, an AFib problem, right? With your heart, you could have an AFib episode going on. So you take something to slow your heart down or keep your heart regular. Is there anything wrong with that? Is there any stigma behind taking vitamin D or supplements or something to make up for what you're missing? No. But if there's something going on upstairs and you need your serotonin adjusted, well, you're wacko, right? I mean, there's all sorts of stigmas around dealing with, mental fitness. And I think it's high time that more people came forward. When you go and you get issued pills, right? When you go to a psychiatrist, psychologist, and they issue you drugs to manage your serotonin or wherever your deficiency is, they tell you, don't worry about it. Because chances are likely, if you live in a neighborhood, one of either the house on the right or the house on the left, they're taking these too. It's like a 50% adoption rate or something crazy like that. And so I thought that was rather interesting for them to say that. It's like, don't let the stigma get to you. But that doesn't help people that are looking for help, right? Because they don't know that there's not supposed to be the stigma. Anyway, I'm a big advocate. If there's something wrong with you, get it fixed, right? Take what you need to take, get it fixed, do what you need to do, man. Don't let society and stigma take care of your mental health for you. Because especially these days, that's a very poor choice of armchair doctoring right there. All right, so back to more positive topics, shall we? Let's see. I did have something else other than the YouTube crap to talk about. Oh, listen, I got my hands on this amazing boombox. It's called the RX DT75. I do have a video of it, and normally when I'm talking on Passenger Seat Radio, I say I know that a lot of you don't follow me on YouTube, that you're just Passenger Seat Radio listeners, but go check it out. I feel like I don't necessarily have to talk about recent YouTube videos here because chances are likely if you're watching this, you already know about it. But I wanted to talk about this boombox just a little bit because I do drop these to MP3 and shove them over to Spreaker. So those who cannot watch on YouTube for whatever reason, they have a means of catching it with their podcatcher and they can still listen. So I got a hold of it was like $8.70 or something. At Goodwill. It was $9.49, and I had like a 20 or 25% off coupon. So whatever the math is on that, plus tax, right? Of course, Arizonans pay a fortune in tax. But yeah, so this boombox retailed for about $450. Panasonic, when Panasonic meant something, right? And it's simply nothing short of amazing, this thing. It even retails now, like if you were to go to eBay and try to get one, you're going to pay $175, $185. It is simply amazing. It's CD, dual auto reverse, high-speed dubbing cassette, intelligent CD ripping to cassette. It's got this totally kick-ass flip-up panel. It has to be seen to be believed. And so definitely check that out. If you're into music, if you're into physical media like a lot of us are, check that out. I think you'll find that just one amazing piece of kit. It is badass. And the best part is it all works. A lot of times at Goodwill, you'll buy a cassette player or something like that. The belts are dead. You don't want to have to open it up and gut it and rebelt it. But this one came 100%. CD works great, tapes work great. The flip-up panel works great because it's all motorized. The cassettes have these smooth eject systems, not just soft eject, but it's got this, you have to see the video to understand it. It's hard for me to explain, but it has like a tape receptacle that sticks out like a little alien head for you to put your tape in. It's really cool. And all of that worked out of the box. So one thing I didn't show on the video, so you guys get the extra bonus features on the back. When I got it from Goodwill, Lord almighty, that shit was dirty. I mean, listen, it came from Goodwill, right? So you expect it to be a little dirty. So I said to myself, listen, if I'm going to put this on a video, I'm going to clean it up a little bit. And it ended up, I know, you looked at the video and said, dude, you cleaned that? Yeah, listen. I've been sitting on that thing for weeks because I didn't get around to getting it out. I had other videos in line in front of it. And so it gathers dust. What you're seeing in the video mostly is dust. I did see a couple of spots that I missed, but for the most part, I went over that thing with a fine-tooth comb, cleaning every crack and crevice. And believe me, it needed it. I mean, it was dirty. And I was expecting it, honestly, to be, because of the dirt on it, I expected the mechanisms to be gooey or something like that, but no, it was all clean on the inside. It was just the outside that looked terrible. A couple dings on the grill in the front of one side of the speakers, right? I mean, yeah, listen, it's a Goodwill find, so you're going to have to expect a little something. The antenna was broken off like pretty much like every boombox you find from 25, 30 years ago. And there was no remote. Now, the remote's that's probably the worst thing about it. But again, it was like $8.50, folks. But the remote, if you go to eBay, the remote's like $100, $110 to buy just the remote. Unbelievable. I'm pretty sure that I can get my Harmony to talk to it. So if I really needed a remote, I could use the Harmony to do it. But we'll see. So far, I haven't needed it. To me, the idea of a physical media player is to be like touching it and using it, right? There's something special about that. That's why we have physical media to begin with. We want the touching and the exercise of using it. I did venture into, speaking of which, I did venture myself a little bit into digital audio players, or DAPs. DAPs is what they're called. I did not realize that this was a thing, DAP, but according to all of my YouTube followers, they like to use the term DAP. So I'm assuming I missed a memo somewhere. So these are essentially MP3 players from the day, right? Like the Sansas or the Zunes or the iPods. Notice I said iPod last. I wasn't even going to say it, but there's my pot smell for the day. God damn, I'm going to get a contact high on the way to work. Wish I knew why it always smelled like pot right here. Whew, so bad. I mean, that's bad pot. Yeah. Anywho, so I wanted to find something that would play FLAC, right? That's our new thing in my peer group, right? We're all repurchasing CDs because they're bargain bin prices at Goodwill right now, and then we're replacing our MP3 collections with FLAC. I've got plenty of MP3 players, right? What I don't have is something that will play a high quality FLAC file. So I've been out looking, and I did a video on one called the Pesky. I have to remember. And it was okay. It was a $40 unit, and you can spend as much as you want on these DAPs. You want to pay $400? There's a DAP for you. And I'm sure it has to do with DAC quality and some other things. But, listen, I was looking for a solution, right? So one of my, I did the review on that. If you want to see it, it's on the channel. Pretty cool. It does the job. I don't care for the interface, both the physical and the software interface. I'm not sure who's designing these things, but they're not doing a very good job, to be honest with you. So, yeah. Anyway, so somebody in the description, or in the comments, below the description, that's where I was going with that, left a comment that said that they were using this Mercon 30, and they really liked it. Overall, it had a scroll wheel, which is one of the things I complained about the other one. all these interfaces are built, and let's be honest, I mean, a scroll wheel, I don't give Apple props too often, but I will admit that the scroll wheel is a brilliant interface for a music player. You know, that's just the way it is. And Sansa had it, right? Sansa was my anti-iPod solution, and Sansa made some great players. I got a couple of shorts, I think, that I not reviewed, but showed off an early Sansa player. I really liked them. I still have them. I still have their basses, their docks, their speaker docks. They're really neat. Of course, they don't do FLAC, so there you go. Of course they don't. They're old. Yeah, so, sorry, I'm trying to get off the highway here, and people do not know that you can make a free left on a one-way. So you got to be careful, because people are crazy. At least down here. Hang on a second. Let me get stabilized here. Oh, my final strut here. Okay. So, yeah, so I got this. I looked at this Mercon or Mercon or Merkin. Yeah, you wouldn't believe what got sent in the mail when I ordered a Merkin. No, Mercon, I think is what it is, or Mercon, something like that. So I went looking at Amazon. The thing is $80, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm looking for $80. Because listen, I have a very frugal audience. You guys don't want to pay $80. You guys don't want to. You guys don't want to pay for anything, but that's okay. I get that. But you know, $80 is not something I could probably sell, right? I mean, part of trying to get the channel self-sufficient is get some little sponsorships going on. I will never do that crazy sponsorship stuff, but like Amazon affiliates, I'm fine with that if I can find it on Amazon. In this case, I actually ordered it from AliExpress, which is a company I do not recommend anybody order anything important from. Usually storage. You know, if you want to buy some cheap electronic gizmo like this, go for it, right? If you're going to buy a 2 terabyte drive for $50 from AliExpress, you're probably not going to be in good shape at the end of that transaction. So there's things I recommend and there's things I do not recommend. So I grabbed this at AliExpress. It was $43. So you're talking like half price. And I figured, okay, well, if it comes and it's a complete disappointment, I'll have a good video to talk about it. If it comes and it's not a great disappointment, I have a follow-up. I can do a quick short on it or something and show off the differences between this and the other one. And so it came. I did the unboxing video. I haven't actually posted anything yet, but I took it. I sat on the couch. I learned the UI, which is really funny that that there's like a learning process for these things. Learned where all the, you know, I learned all the little eccentricities with it, that sort of thing. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it, if I'm going to do another review or not. I don't love it. I'd like to find a DAP that I love. So far, this isn't the DAP that I love, so I might keep looking. But I'd like to have a little tiny music player that I can plug a real set of headphones into that sounds great, that does FLAC. So that's my current quest for the Holy Grail, is to find that. Anyway, I'm about a minute from the office. I should probably wrap this up. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm Shane R. Monroe, Passenger Seat Radio. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.